And one thing I'm very disappointed about is the crap paint from Charlie's stores. Look at the rust coming back through already. Now these grills, does anybody know if I get these powder coated, if them holes will block up or not? Because I would love now to take it off, get a powder coated satin black so that it looks tidy, because it's really letting it down at the moment. Really letting it down. We had the grab handles done and the beacon brackets, they were powder coated, so they're looking good now, so happy with them. We have got a front linkage to go on here, but it's off a 4-cylinder, not a 6, so we're trying to decide at the moment if it's worth messing around putting new side frame rails on the 4-cylinder linkage to make it fit the 6-cylinder, or just move it on and get a 6-cylinder one. Good morning everybody, today we are going to be going book spreading. Yes we are, it's that time of the year again. So first job we need to do is drop off that dump trailer and put the book spreader on. So the sun is out, we've had 3 days of dry weather. The ground's dry on top at least, if nothing else. The big question is, how much mess can we make? We were going to do this with the dual wheels on the Massey, but that meant, ooh, that close. That meant putting the dual wheels on the Massey. I is not going to make that. That is a tight corner for this trailer. A whole video getting past the flipping bale at this rate. People there now though. As long as the body don't catch. There we go boys and girls, we are through. Whole video on just getting around the bale on the corner. Bloody hell. Right, let's get this trailer off, get a spreader on and go spread some poo. We have got the lug spreader on the back. We have put one log out already. First load was mainly dirty water, so it looks a mess. And it doesn't spread very far out in the barrel spreader. So, because the lug spreader is so much shorter than the Collins dump trailer, it means it clears these bales a hell of a lot easier. To the point where we don't really have to look in the mirror to be confident we're going to get round. And the muck spreader is also narrower than the tractor and a lot narrower than the dump trailer, which also helps. The sun is out, it's like a greenhouse. Let's have a look at the sheep views while I'm on my way down to Spread. Four-wheel drive is essential out here, otherwise we won't get back out. And because of where we're loading from, it does mean that we've got to reverse down the track back into the field again, which just adds time to the job really, doesn't it? What else can you do? We work with what we've got. Running in 540 economy PTO, which is good. Make sure we keep away from any water courses. And make sure we're in the right gear. Few revs to the old PTO. Got it to go. That's a bit more like copper not coming out, that's better. Still wet and horrible, like, but yeah. Gotta get it out, I mean, people are putting it on a hell of a lot thicker than what we are. Seen some people, like, you know, the dribble barb or whatever, and they're putting it on mega thick. It's unbelievable how thick people are putting it on. Detail stop, swing it round, back in for another run. Look. I think we're pretty much out there. We call that one done, head back and get another load. So this is it, we have to reverse down to where the tractor is at the bottom. I didn't know I was doing this the other day, but I did come with a hand hedge cutter and just take some branches off of this hedge here. I'm glad I did now, because it didn't half used to wallop the cab as you reverse down if you're staying on the track. You used to have to go and like swinging that bit there by the bales to make sure you missed it. It's a lot better now, that's good. And the only thing reversing with short trailers, I'm sure a lot of you know, is they react really fast to the slightest movement. So it looks like you're a bad driver, but it's just because the trailer's so short. I'm a bad driver. This is probably the damnedest point here where the stream crosses through a pipe underneath. Make sure the front wheel goes over that before we swing over hard on the log. There we go. Get this in the tray in the field, get loaded up and back for the next one. So for those of you who have been watching the other videos, this compressor that I've got having issues with, fast home road compressor. I've spoken to Sam, who is a parts advisor person at the Cheshire branch of Doosan, who deal with Doosan Bobcat, deal with all the Inksor Randy type stuff, because they bought Inksor Rand out. And he had one of their service engineers called Mo give me a call back and talk me through a couple of things. Now, Mo has said that the pressure regulator is like the heart of the machine, and when they play up, it's like a real pain in the bum. So we've done a few tests that Mo suggested, and what I decided to do next is I'm going to work the throttle manually on the compressor, because what I think is happening is the idle speed for the engine is set too low and it's stalling out because it's trying to cope with the pressure at low RPM. Because I had a look in the book and the book says idle speed should be 1600 RPM. Now I'm thinking if that pressure regulator is faulty and idle speed is not 1600 RPM, then we are in a position where the idle speed doesn't have the power to actually cope with the pressure that's still in the system, because the pressure is trying to push the pump backwards, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm going to do, and hopefully that will give me an indication I mean, it can only be two things. It can only be the pressure regulator that controls the throttle, or the air cylinder that controls the throttle, which works from the pressure regulator. And apparently they've got a little diaphragm in them that over time can get a hole in it and perforate and stuff, and then that is where all your problems start. And the muck's getting a bit thicker now, so I need to go a little bit slower with it, I think. I need to concentrate on what I'm doing a bit more really. Anyway, let's go back round and have another go. We'll go a bit slower on this one, and it'll give a bit better coverage and even it all out anyway. But, yeah. Trying to think about the compressor and not really paying attention to what I'm doing too much. But I'm enjoying the sunshine, it's nice to be back in the seat. I'm getting on with some field work for a change, but we're still lambing. I mean, we've lost another lamb today, it's probably a week old, but we believe that it is from a ewe where it's only got one good teat. And as for you people who farm now, lambs, generally, if they're twins, they will choose the left or the right teat on the mum, and then they tend to stick with that for the duration of feeding purposes. And we think what's happened is this lamb's been on the bad teat, and you know, due to the quantity of lambs in the shed or whatever, it's hard to keep track of all of them. So yeah, unfortunately the mums kind of sit over the top of them to protect the lambs, and that makes it so that it's harder for you to actually see which lamb is falling behind really. We'll drop the rest down a bit, not the rest, we'll drop the speed, the forward speed down a bit, just give it a bit better coverage for what it's had. We are hoping to get the first cut off of this in 6 weeks, although it looks like it's going on really thick at the minute, when all the moisture dries out it'll all shrink back, and then hopefully the muck itself will be quite minimal. But it will be good for it to get in the ground still and put the nutrients where we want them. But as everybody knows, with a barrel spreader you don't get the nice even spreader coverage like you do with a rear discharge, and you do have to keep your eye on it a little bit more just to make sure you know what's going on. When I got caught out last year, I spread too close to the headlands, and then at the end of the night, well, we've been at it for hours and hours and hours. We were like, we'll just get one more load out, and for whatever reason, I didn't have it in four-wheel drive in the field, kind of got stuck, needed to get to somewhere to get a run, to get out, but because I'll spread right up to the headlands, that never left me anywhere with clean grass to actually get back out the field on, and it was an absolute nightmare. I was doing, well, I was flat out in D, like in D4 on the John Deere, and yeah, I was going that fast before the diff lock kicked out, because the diff lock kicks out at a certain speed, which then made getting out the field harder, so I had to slow down to get the diff lock to be engaged. It's lost forward momentum, so off the back of that I've learnt my lesson now to leave a bigger gap at the headland, so if I get in any difficulty I can get myself back out again. Because I've got clean field, because I was amazed at how icy the ground is once you put muck on it. It's like a skating rink. You just, you know, unless you've driven on it yourself to experience it, you just wouldn't believe how slippery this stuff is. drive, but just push a bit of cow muck and it's real steady because it's that slippery stuff. It's mad, it's just mad. That'll do me. Back out of there a little bit and then that'll give me space to turn around without getting too muddy. Rinse and repeat. Remember guys and girls, this spreader when we had it behind the major, like the major was rolling coal, but now it's behind a 6610. It's at 114 horse compared to the major's 54 in the engine, is it? You know? At the moment we've got over double the horsepower and eyes getting shaken. Now it would be nice to have it on the major just for a half, but realistically I think two-wheel drive would be struggling with wet conditions, if I'm honest. And yeah, if anything goes wrong with a major, it doesn't have the power to pull itself out of trouble, and especially being two-wheel drive, even just bringing it down the hill into the field with cable brakes, no trailer brakes, we could hook them up to the spool to make it safer, which we would have to do, but yeah, where we were spreading with a major that time, I mean, the spreader was already in the field, the Massey took it down, and if I had to I could just unhitch it and pull the spreader back up with a Massey, but yeah, fun times they were, fun times. Now I need to find myself a raised PTO for the major because hopefully that will better the gearing advantage. I was hoping to have had one by now, but unfortunately it hasn't come off. So I am still on the lookout for a raised PTO to go on the back of the major. If anyone knows of anyone that's got one, that would be really, really handy. But yeah, it's going to be a long night. It really is going to be a long night. We have an awful lot of muck to get out, and these barrel discharge spreaders, you know, they're not a fast job, but it is what we've got. There's going to be probably quite a few stones in it, so we don't want to hire a rear discharge and smash the meters up to bits with all the stones. We'd rather the hammers on the end of the chains in our spreader did that, and yeah, we'll take the financial hit if it does any damage rather than having to pay a hire company to do the repairs because of any damage caused. Stay to my window already, just like absolutely ridiculous. We're going to make the plate, I think, to go on the side of the spreader just to try and keep refining that way rather than coming forwards a bit. But how well that'll work, I don't know. What have you done to stop your window getting covered in poo? Let us know in the comments. I don't know how much you can see out the back. The window is absolutely plastered. But we are probably 2/3 away across the field now, maybe. Don't know how much we can do at the top because it's wet. Strangely enough, it's wet at the top, not the bottom. But we're going out for 2 hours 20 minutes. And yeah, feels like it's never ending at the minute. But how many people agree with me that rotary muck spreaders or barrel muck spreaders cause humongous amounts of compaction purely because the amount of times you're travelling backwards and forwards and how you're virtually driving a tractor whip across every time. So you're just putting so many tyre tracks on the ground, it's ridiculous. I mean, I get that years ago it was the only thing people had, but in terms of this day and age, actually, it's like, it's got to be killing the ground, hasn't it? It really has. I can see why so many people go for like a rear discharge spreader, just so they're doing like 15 metres at a time or whatever, instead of 4 maybe. And the spread's so much more consistent too with a rear discharge, whereas to get a consistent coverage I've got to go really, really close to the run that I've just put in. And with rotary spreader, you're constantly adjusting your forward speed for the amount of muck that's coming out. Whereas with a rear discharge, it's just constant. It's a steady forward speed plus discharge is consistent. That's that one there, about empty. So yeah, what do you guys think about compaction? Let me know in the comments.
You're going to tell me how I'm using up my diesel tank. You're going to tell people how I'm experimenting with diesel tank.
We can do, but is this a separate video, or is this
a separate video?
It's a separate video. Right, I'm gonna have to watch this now on a separate video. The man has spoken. Got a question for you, because we're not at the house now, we're doing a hill, so we're trying to go down the hill. We've left a bit at the bottom so I can turn round on clean ground, and then we'll fill that in last. But who do you think's got it worse? Arable farmers when a crop fails, or livestock farmers when the livestock die? I mean, we've had quite a few animals die during lambing, which isn't ideal, but emotionally people that can be quite hard, can't it, you know? I get that when a crop is useless, like it's bad for the farmer and profit and stuff, but you know, for like livestock farmers, when they're actually losing a life, a living creature, then they can feel bad for that, even though it's like circumstances out of their control. I think that side of things, people, they don't look at that, they just look at a lot of the bad for livestock farmers, in terms of, like, they got, some of them have got more equipment, more conditions to work in, etc. And then they see all the little snippets of newborn hams or calves or cute and fluffy and that, and they don't see what goes on behind. They don't see, you know, all the pain that they suffer when they're losing a living creature. What do you guys think? Let me know. And that is pretty much the stuff we have, as you can see. There it is, that window. It's absolutely filthy. There's loads of cow poo on the bonnet where it's going on the top of the cab. Yeah, so this is the run that I've left between the bank over there and the flat bit down there, just so I can drop off the bank and turn around to get back up again. I think we're pretty much